जाहिर है जयश्री फडणवीस का नाम अभी से घोषित हो सकता है। आप हम दोनों को बधाई दे दीजिए, पुरस्कार मिले या ना मिले। अब मैं युवा सांसद और जिन्होंने बहुत अच्छा कार्य किया है, राजनीति से हटकर भी बहुत अच्छी जनसेवा की है, उनकी भावनाओं को आप तक पहुंचाने के लिए आमंत्रित कर रहा हूं बीजे पांडा साहब को।
Honorable Chief Justice of India, Shri Balakrishnan, Honorable Shri Raman Singh Ji, Shri Dholakia, Shri Sardesai, Dr. Karad, Rahul Ji, honored guests, faculty and staff of all the MIT group of institutions, members of the media, and most importantly, all the students. I thank you with humility for considering me for this award. And I would like to share a small anecdote to tell you why I appreciate this so much. This anecdote concerns my 12-year-old niece. 2 years ago, she was asked to write an essay for her school on the subject politics. And she asked me to help her define politics. And I made the mistake of telling her that you know how to access the internet, why don't you find out for yourself? So she's 12 years old, she searches the internet and she tells me that I have found out that politics is not one word but 2 words. Poly is Latin for many and ticks are small blood-sucking insects. I thank you for recognizing that the popular opinion of politicians and politics is not always true. There are people like Raman Singh Ji, there are people at the national and state levels, at local levels, who make a wonderful difference to the people of India. We should all be very grateful that in our part of the world, we have the luxury of choosing who will rule us, who will govern us. Most countries surrounding us do not have that luxury. I will speak very briefly. I'm very impressed with all the infrastructure and the facilities at this group of institutions here, but most importantly, by the attitude and the enthusiasm of all the people concerned that I have met. India is a country of great opportunities, of great progress. Of course, it has problems, but very often our public debate gets mired only on the problems. But I think this is odd because India is a young country. More than 50% of Indians were born after 1982. How many of you here were born after 1982? You can see that, of course, this being an institution, you will have that advantage. But more than 50% of Indians were born after 1982. And what this means is that young people usually are much more optimistic. They have a much more can-do attitude, and with an attitude that problems are there to be solved. This is an attitude that we need to induct into politics, into government. There are good politicians, there are young politicians, but we need the involvement of the majority of Indians who are today young Indians just like you. In conclusion, I would like to thank Dr. Karad, Rahul Ji, and the MIT group for, in particular, instituting the School of Government. Now, this is very important because politics is the one field where there are barely any rules. Despite the good work done by people like Shri Seshan and his successors, there is no formal system of inducting people into politics, into governance. And this is the very first major step taken in this country. There are great institutions for governance in other parts of the world, and I look forward to the day when the MIT SOG is considered among the best in the world for governance. Once again, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be here and for considering me for this award. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for every appreciation given by you to all of us. और अब मैं बुलाने जा रही हूँ एक निष्पक्ष, एक विद्वान, एक अति सरल और महान होने के बावजूद भी अति साधारण व्यक्तित्व है भारत के प्रधान न्यायाधीश श्री के.जी. बालकृष्णन जी। मैं उनसे विनती करती हूँ, प्रार्थना करती हूँ कि वो यहाँ आकर भारत अस्मिता राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार के प्रति अपने विचार प्रदान करें।
इससे पहले कि मुख्य न्यायाधीश महोदय यहाँ माइक पर आएं, मैं चाहूंगा कि तमाम पुरस्कार विजेताओं के लिए और प्रधान न्यायाधीश महोदय के लिए हम सब लोग खड़े होकर जोरदार तालियां बजाकर उनका सम्मान करें।
Sri Vishwadas Karat, Sri T.N. Session, distinguished awardees, other distinguished guests who adorn the dais, the members of the teaching staff of the MIT school, dear students. I have great pleasure indeed to have been invited to confer these prestigious awards to these luminaries who with their leadership and able guidance have strived to make real difference in society and make a meaningful contribution to the nation. The awardees selected by a committee, a highly distinguished personalities, represent unparalleled success in the fields of management, media and public service. Ralph Waldo Emerson famously said, "Reach high, for stars lie hidden within your soul. Dream deep, for every dream precedes the goal." Each of these illustrious awardees present today are embodiments of these words. They have dreamt of a brighter future and reached the heights. They stand as pillars of inspiration for others. The awards conferred by the Maharashtra Institute of Technology group of institutions recognize excellence in order to create community visionaries who aspire to see India scale greater heights and set higher precedents of excellence so that together this community can realize the ultimate dream, the dream that our founding fathers dreamt for India and the dream that Nehru described so eloquently in the speech he delivered on Independence Day in the following words. I quote, "The ambition of the greatest man of our generation has been to wipe every tear from every eye. That may be beyond us. But so long as there are tears and suffering, so long as our work will not be over." Unquote. Gentlemen, ladies, our work is not over. For a large number of people in our nation are underprivileged and for whom the freedom enshrined in our Constitution are still a distant dream. Till that dream is realized, our work remains. All of us have different notions on how the dream of a strong and developed India can be achieved. Those notions have been developed over time with constant pondering on the most compelling issues that India faces today. Knowledge and vision from the bedrock of these ideas. However, it is imperative for us to work together to try to fuse our ideas, to merge them into one, such that we can work certainly and collectively to realize that single greatest element of our dream that unites all of us, that one element that makes all of us reach the same destination, though we may traverse varying paths, element of love for the betterment of our people, love for the development of the nation, love for the search of truth, love the truth that Gandhiji described, what the voice within tells us and what our heart assents. Today, we felicitate the people who have committed themselves to find ideas that would work easier and more productive through effective management, those who have used the media as an effectual tool for initiating public awakening and generating social awareness, and those young selected representatives who work to bring about development in their constituency. All these three areas are inextricably intertwined with one another. They are all very critical to India's growth dimension. Effective management lies at the heart of every successful system, be it social, political, cultural, judicial, or any other. For that system to subsist for a sustained period of time, it needs to be managed in a manner that is able to sustain itself and develop itself in a dynamic manner. Every problem has a solution, and management lies at the heart of that solution. The development of successful management practices that can deal with specific issues and challenges is an urgent need, for only then we can focus on the broader problems that we are facing in this globally competitive world, which is rapidly changing with every step. Moreover, the inherent diversity present in our nation is our factor that calls for development of best practices for such complex national environments. Examples of these practices include novel methods to solve the specific problems, communication skills, conflict management, negotiation, and self-development methods. It is this shortcoming that we must focus on the building of ideas that are innovative and are fueled by the energy of people such as you, the awardees present here today. As wrote Henry James, I quote, "Ideas are in truth forces infinite, two is the power of personality, a union of the two always make history," unquote. Thus, with the confluence of your ideas and your personalities, you can change our economy, our society, and our country. We should then be able to include the ability to focus on the specific demands and then go to create a larger objectives. Once these objectives are created, then solution-oriented, people-centric, flexible, and diverse skill set ought to be planned and developed. The next step would involve concentrate efforts to teach those skills to the common man so that the populace over time is able to improve its own effectiveness and efficiency. In this manner, each citizen would be committed, inspired, and dedicated nation builder. The quality of work of each person would increase, and consequently would his productivity and ultimately success of the nation. The implementation of these management practices cannot see light of the day without someone who can take them to the people, to the grassroots level, through the use of the media, so that these practices can be made tools bringing about the promising social change. It is at this stage that Jan Jagrat, our social awareness, comes into the play. Public awakening and social awareness regarding these ideas is an imperative need if we wish to succeed in our efforts to promote greater good. Empowerment of the public through spread of knowledge of workable ideas by the use of the media opens up vast opportunities for freedom of expression and public participation. It improves the quality, professionalism, generous support, and ideas to constructive public action. Any idea towards bringing about reform in society cannot find success without the active support of a leader or a public representative who is able to streamline public effort and guide the masses to a goal. Without captain, the ship of reform can never find its true course. Having deliberated upon the need for all the sectors management, mass media, and leadership by public representatives to work together for a better future, I would like to conclude the address by quoting the Sri V.K. Krishnamenon, who was our former defense minister, on a Republic Day in 1971. These thoughts are still relevant for our society. I quote, "India fought freedom not only to throw away the British yoke, but also to fulfill the aspirations of its masses for a life and dignity and happiness. It was obvious even during the days of the freedom struggle that these aspirations could be fulfilled only in democratic, socialist, secular, united India. The Constitution of India therefore enshrined these basic principles in itself. The building of a modern India needs the purposeful channelization of the entire energies of our people towards well-defined goals. This can be achieved only in the